Alright, what's going on YouTube? I was informed that 6 hours ago there is going to be a patch sometime. I don't know exactly when this is potentially going to launch. But the important part is that you guys get to see the actual Superstar Cup information. So, as many people know, I am taking part in this. It's going to be, I think, pretty fun. There's more information and details in the Discord under the tournament announcements, I believe, as well. Long story short, though, you guys can kind of see what's going on with the teams. Me and Lisk are playing together when bugs fly. I assume Lisk came up with that one. Regardless, should be fun. Looking down the list, though, there's some good potential in some of these teams. I honestly think Meteos and Bonnie is a potential worry. And I don't really know many of the other people on this list in terms of their actual rating, right? Like, I know a Fostel plays with Boo Boy on his Smurf a couple times, and I've played him. He's not bad. Everyone tells me Gara plays a ton of Pyro. I think Neck is 2.2, something like that, right? Like, there's some potential there. I don't know if we're going to win, but it should be fun. I'm going to try to stream it on my channel as well. If you guys want to watch, I will be having like a 10-minute delay, a long delay. Whatever they're using on the tournament cast, I will also be doing for a delay. If they're allowing me to stream, I don't know if they're going to or not. I would hope so, but we'll kind of figure that out. But then there's some balance patch notes, and I know people have been looking for some of this information, so that's kind of it. They're saying the patches are intentionally conservative. Okay, I did confirm from Toykin that I can stream myself. I'm just still gonna then drop with a huge delay. King spell damage on 20 and 21 increased, or King attack damage, excuse me. That'll be nice, right? You're less likely to die just because you got long saved from 16 to 21. But I don't know. It's going to be a trial and error thing. 10% is a large increase, but 20, 21 are also very strong waves. Legion spell changes, though. We're going to see Creditor back in the game. Obviously, Creditor was taken out because they attempted to make an interesting mechanic, and it kind of had a odd side effect of you could literally just save all your gold, not build, and still be farther ahead than if you built at all. So back to the old school mechanic of waves 11 through 13, you can save up to a maximum of 70 gold per wave. I think this is still a solid spell. I think it's just not broken like it was when they allowed unlimited, but 40%. Dark Ritual getting a buff. I think Dark Ritual right now, in terms of its gold, is still decent sometimes, but the extra 5 gold is always a positive. Villain nerf. I think Villain right now is a pretty strong pick, so I guess this makes sense. 2% and 1% respectively is not massive, but it does make a difference. The thing I'm actually excited to see, though, Fire Archer and Bone Crusher getting a nerf, right? Like, these became pretty prominent in, I would say, all ELOs, actually. It was one of my best viewed videos, and I think for good reason. People wanted to know how to use these because they held a ton. Now, a 0.1% attack speed nerf on Bone Crusher isn't massive necessarily, but this might be the difference between holding on 2 to a re-snail and leaking, 40-some%, right? There was some times where that Bone Crusher would get really close, but it just never died because it just was able to eke out the kill. I think the Fire Archer slight nerf here for health. There's plenty of times, again, the Fire Archer just ekes by with a little bit of health. This might be able to allow you to leak it a little more consistently early on in the game. As always, though, Fire Archer falls off big time post, like, wave 8, realistically. Post, like, wave 5, 6. So you need to start being cautious now a little bit more. The Oathbreaker here, I don't know how this is going to affect it necessarily, right? If it gets smoked with a big hit, right, where it doesn't have a lot of time in this 270% attack speed range, this could nerf it quite hard, but I think this might theoretically make it more consistent on wave 1 to a snail. But I'm not positive on that. That's going to require some testing. Gargoyle, slight health nerf. I don't really think this changes a whole lot for Gargoyle. It might make you more likely to leak on wave 3 with it. But I don't know if it's going to necessarily make a massive difference. But it's something. Aqua Spirit, attack speed increase. Now I don't think this might also translate to Rogue Wave and Fire Elemental, but for sure just Aqua, right? That's I think gonna make Aquas a little bit more viable again. Oh yeah, Toykin makes a good point. You have to count in the damage reduction with the 10 health. So what? 10 health times 30%. So what? That's 30 health. 25 health, depending on what they're hitting you with. Something in there. Yeah, it will be big, but I don't know how much it really will change. If you still have Gargoyles on 3, you're still probably going to be okay. I think it makes Gargoyles less likely to be spammable late, like mid to late game. But I don't know. It'd be one of those things you actually have to pull up how much it survives with in certain situations and kind of go from there. But I don't think the Gargoyle health decrease affects Green Devil at all. And from the way it looks, I don't believe the Aqua Spirit affects the Rogue Wave or Fire Ellie. But again, I could be wrong on that. Because usually what they'll do is they'll show both Sky Queen and Harpy, like in this situation, where they both get an attack speed increase. I think this makes Sky Queen and Harpy stronger again. When I think they have been pretty strong the last couple patches. Aside from, the slight nerf, what was it, 2 patches ago, last patch? Zuka base getting some positive feedback. an extra damage on the Zuka. Won't make a whole lot of difference. Maybe it will help you on some earlier waves. The big thing here, I think, with the Zuka, though, is the Pyro change. Pyro is going to be a little bit less affected by Safety Mole now because its attack speed is a little slower, but its damage is higher. So the DPS is unchanged theoretically. It's just now with the Safety Mole, you're not losing out on so much DPS. I think this will potentially help make Pyro a little bit more usable early game. Right? There was a long time where Pyro was a viable option even with Safety Mole and Hermit, but right now it just isn't the time that it's good. Now we'll see. I think Gateguard and Harb buffs, nerfs, are kind of warranted. They're really strong, I feel like, right now. You can realistically just spam Gateguard Harb throughout most of your game, and unless someone sends good things to you, it can just stay alive forever. But then Penny with a good comment, and this is kind of why I think Pyro's still trash. Most sends on Wave 8 will still leak Wave 8 with Pyro. And that's kind of the thing, right? Just because Safety Mole is less likely to hard counter it on other waves, if you get a big send on 8, you're still dead on 8. So that's something to keep in mind. Mudman getting nerfed again. I think probably warranted. Mudman is still a fantastic early game tank and even a late game tank with its harden ability. If you can predict their sends, it's pretty damn solid. Slightly buff on the Trinity Elite Archer. I think this will help you more easily early game be able to place Trinity Archers. Like, I think the Trinity Archer start might be a little bit more reliable on 1 now. It's a very minor buff, but we'll see what happens. I think this will be testable with more snail builds now. Because I know Trinity Archer right now actually is a pretty solid 5-worker start on Wave 1 if they send you a 20. So, yeah, it is 0.01 times 4, right? We'll see what this comes up with. Arc of Justice getting a slight attack speed buff. I think Arc of Justice, Radiant Halo are already really strong units. So, one of those deals. We'll see kind of what happens. Starcaller getting a mana regeneration decrease. I think this will make them a lot less likely to be damage units. Your main DPS, I should say, right? Because their main damage is the the mana regeneration. They're at mana attack speed. Small buff on Priestess. Less likely to leak on 2-3 now, right? 4 even. Early game, it's going to be stronger. Same thing with Aziria. Soul Gates get the rightful nerf. I think right now they are just really strong. Holy Avenger getting given the Sovereign treatment. I think the 20% less mana from being attacked is important. This will make them ramp a lot slower, giving you a lot more chance to actually kill the units. The 25 attack, though, makes Holy Avenger just as bad as Sovereign at times now. So I think these guys are a lot less likely to be able to sustain for literally years. Red Eyes, small nerf. Red Eyes still strong. Still place a ton of Red Eyes. They're still a really good unit. Slight attack speed increase for Mimic, which I already think is a pretty underrated unit. Another Ogre buff. Beautiful. Love it. Both of these are really solid mercenaries, as is, I think, right now. Ghost Knight becoming a little bit more viable of a Swift tank now. That 400 health increase makes quite a big difference. Yeah, I think this just makes it a little bit more viable. It's still going to be strong against Millennium and Canopy, but just less likely to be like the showstoppers they were against them. But I guess this will now make it so that Millennium Canopy will still get card countered, but other units will still be pretty solid against it. Pretty solid to send it into, I should say. Shaman getting a slight nerf. I think this might be warranted when they're doing the Wave 20 buff, right? Like, this kind of thing makes it so that Wave 20 would have been really tough. But I guess they did also buff the King attack on 20. Shaman right now, though, is a must send on a lot of waves, so it kind of makes sense. Gives you more variety on what you can actually send now. Otherwise, yeah, Shaman on so many waves was just your default. You had to have it. If you couldn't get a Shaman for 18 or 19 or 20, why are you sending? In a lot of those situations. Mantis is getting a slight nerf. That's, I think, kind of warranted. I see a lot of big leaks on 12, I guess, right now. 13 seems kind of weak, so slight buff, I get it. The biggest thing, though, is 20, I think. This 20 damage increase makes it so that you actually have to worry about 20 a little bit more. Right now, 20 is kind of a joke at times. If you just have a good couple units, you can hold 20 almost no problem. Obviously, you have to build for it still to do that, but I think this will make it so that games can end on 20. There's many a time where even if you have like full king and you have 2 bosses come down on 20 that you don't actually kill the king, which I think is kind of odd. I've seen at times where you do less king damage on 20 than you do on 10. You know? We'll see, though. I kind of think that out of all of these, Ghastly asked me which one's the biggest buff. There wasn't many buffs this patch. But I think, honestly, Arc and Radiant Halo might be the biggest. Or even Poda. Aziria and Poda right now I think are kind of shit. So this might be huge. But then these guys, 1% attacks DPS increase. I don't know what the Arc of Justice Radiant Halo increase is. But any of these guys could be really good this coming patch. It just kind of depends. I think there's more viability in like an Elite Archer start now. You might be more able to hold on 3, etc. Snail on 1, that kind of thing. But we'll see. Pyro does get buffed, Gara. Your Pyro does get buffed. So keep that in mind. You'll still leak on 8. But Pyro did get buffed. Actually, I think Sky Queen now is going to be really good again. There was a slight minute there where Sky Queen was like the biggest thing in game, but now Sky Queen's going to ramp insane again. I could see Sky Queen being broken. We'll see. This is coming out here soon. I don't know when. It didn't say in here, I don't believe. No. It did not say when it was launching. Maybe Sir Pennywise can give us some information on that. But yeah, no info about it. Always check out the roadmap, you guys. LegionTD2.com /roadmap. Check out roadmap if you have any ideas on the game. You want to see things. You want to see what they're doing. Check the roadmap out. There's a lot of information there. Always, that's gonna be it for this YouTube video. Check out my other videos. Give this one a like. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Check me out on Twitch, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.